folks. Welcome back to the Dota 2 Canada Cup Season number 5. We are here in the group stages, our final couple of days as we go in the last couple of teams into the playoffs. Thank you so much for joining us here on twitch.tv/Dota 2 Canada Cup. As always, I am Mott. Today we got a good one. Voidboys versus North American Rejects V2. The second incarnation of this amazing squad. We'll see how they play up against a mainstay in the North American scene, Voidboys. I'm not alone today. I'm joined by Kalo Guy. How you doing, man? It's been a while since we've casted with each other, so how's it going?
Going pretty good. I hope I am heard. Am I coming in loud and clear?
You are.
Wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, happy to be back. I love myself some Canada Cup action, and, I'll consider this a bit of a warm-up for the weekend, and I'm happy to be here casting my friends over on the NAR side of things, and, of course, I've had a pretty good history with Voidboys and their Summit run and their hot and cold success, so this should be some solid Dota. I'm excited, man. It's
going to be good. We'll have to see. It is a best-of-1 series, obviously. Top 2 teams from the group make it out. There's 4 teams in each group, and this is Group D. So the group stages, each group takes about 2 days to complete, 3 games a day, 6 games in total, not including tiebreakers. We saw a lot of really fun games these past couple of weeks with Group A, B, and C. I want to mention that we are also not alone, Dakota and I. If you happen to hear any salt coming from behind me, that is Greg or Gerg. He is sitting behind me in my house, chilling with me as we are tomorrow going to the Rochester RIT LAN. Very excited about that. Hopefully the salt doesn't come over to here. But, yeah, man.
Probably smells wonderful.
Yeah, I mean, he's a good smelling dude for the most part, but he's eating some pad thai we went to get. He got here, he's like, I'm hungry. I'm like, okay, I have to cast in 10 minutes. And he's like, let's go get food. And then just got back in time and we made it, man. We're here. We did it.
Let's fucking do it, man. I'm ready. Voidboys, North American Rejects, Dota 2 hat odds for anyone out there who loves those stupid hats. Well, it's going to be about a 65% odds favorite for the good old North American Reject boys, which I could agree with. Voidboys, they're a team that can creep on you. They can pull out a bit of an upset. People could, when you look at a team like Narvi, all these guys, they've been around the block. They've played a wealth of Dota. They've been there at the big time, the big LAN. A lot of them even have international experience, but we question their chemistry working together, their, continued efforts on how much their heart is in the game, and we'll have to see here.
I'm very excited because I think they might have played a game or two before this or a tournament or two before this, but this is the first real time that I get to see them play up front. We know exactly what NAR are capable of, or North American Rejects are capable of, at least at an individual level. You look at all of these people, all of these players, and you're like, you know what they can do. You know they're heroes. We've spent a lot of time with them specifically. We've also watched a lot of Voidboys as well, so we know what both teams are capable of. And it's going to be very interesting, man. I will say that NAR get off to a start with a Lion and Zeus. Zeus, one of the most common heroes in the game currently. On the other side, Voidboys going for the Vengeful Spirit and Clockwork. There is no Sniper. It was banned out, but Voidboys, they've run Clockwork before. They also like to go for the Bat Rider. However, it looks like the Clockwork will be the offlane of choice. So we're not seeing too much about the draft here. Other than, Zeus, support, mid, offlane, who the hell who knows where he's going, but we see the line support, the Vengeful Spirit support, and the Clockwork offlane, and that's good enough for me.
Yeah, I mean, there's obviously a lot of flexibility between these picks. You can't really determine what kind of tempo these teams want to take it, if they want to get more behind like a push, or if they're looking to kind of draw this one out a bit. The only thing is that, pickups like your Clockwork and Vengeful Spirit can limit to your hero pool quite a bit because you got this big gap closer, one of the best initiators in the game. So you're already opening up with a pretty frail combo in your Lion and Zeus, so you got to have something to help them out. If Clockwork's there to get in their face, both of these heroes could struggle when they have the pressure right there. And well, they need to find a way to get a bit more defensive, or at least someone who could kind of divert the attention elsewhere. Axe could be something that they consider. He's still in the pool available. And you still have prominent cores also, like your Jug. That could be something they like to go for. There's going to be the Axe. So they need a frontliner. They need the beefy bad boy. There he is.
I mean, that's... How often are you going to get a third pick Axe in this meta? It goes through all of the bans, doesn't get first pick, doesn't get second pick, doesn't get banned at all. That is we talk about value pickups. That's certainly a value pickup. The Axe at the third position. That's really, really great for North American Rejects. That's something that takes a lot of the pressure off them. Like you're talking about, Zeus and Lion are so good when they have room to work with, Lion especially, and then he gets his Blink Dagger. Zeus stays alive, throws out a couple of Lightning Bolts, maybe even gets up to a Bloodstone so he's more tanky, and then Axe jumps in. You have so much damage coming out from these 3 heroes. But and it's also a pretty good matchup against Clockwork. You don't really want to be stuck in cogs with an Axe. You try to push him maybe and get him out. But for the most part, you don't really want to have to deal with him. And then Queen of Pain picked up for Voidboys as well. Very good pick against Zeus in line, I think, in particular. But still, Zeus should hold his own if that is going to be a mid lane match between these two heroes.
Some serious mobility already here for Voidboys. I mean, it's just kind of seeming like their typical formula, whether they have Pat Soul involved or not. They do like to kind of favor that 4 protect 1, or at least they like to build up a 4-man hit squad that can really draw a lot of attention in the mid game, create space for their certain Pat Soul, whoever it may be. If it's not him himself, they'll get some sort of Spectre, a Morphling, anti-mage, someone who can really bring the game and put it on its back. And they need these kind of heroes like your Clockwork, like your Queen of Pain, who can kind of allow them to have that opportunity. So it's still feeling like that. Well, North American regions could still build a lot more action. They already have great lockdown, great burst. Now, if they want to follow through with this, because I don't know yet if this is going to be a mid-lane Zeus or not.
Yeah,
if
that's
this is not their support, maybe they could still go for something fun like a Sky. Oh, no, Skywrath's been banned. Okay. That's, would have been a favorable grab right there, getting the silence and
maybe
the heavy burst to put side with them. But, yeah, I mean, I don't know if they fancy themselves going a bit more greedy, getting something like your Enigma. Also worthy to note that Batrider had been completely ignored this game. I find that have been interesting.
Well, Voidboys don't have a slot for an offlaner, and North America rejects are not going to send Axe into the jungle, so Batrider isn't going to be touched, and he's not going to get sent mid. Although, I mean, like, I do miss me some mid Batrider. Instead, it's going to be the Magnus coming out for NAR. I'm very excited to see this Magnus pick work out for them. I do want to point out, you talked about Voidboys, and by the way, the next game that we will see coming up after this is going to be NAR versus top 5, and you know who was on top 5? That's right, Pat Soul. So perhaps 747, who I saw in NEL a while ago, like a year ago. He was like a standout player. Since then, I haven't really seen much of him. I think that's the stand-in for Pat Soul. The rest of their squad is exactly the same as it was before. But Pat Soul is absent. That is something to keep in mind. They might still go for that 4 protect 1 style. I know 747 loves to play that hard farming role. They're going to go for the Chen, and that's even more space creation, although you don't have as strong of a lane. An Axe can dominate in a duel. I feel like if NAR run like an Axe Zeus off lane, and then like that's just going to be so difficult to deal with. Axe Zeus is incredibly tough. That's such a common off lane now. It's so hard. And they also get the Magnus, which is going to be good because they have Empower for whatever melee core they pick up here, which I imagine it will be a melee core. So.
Probably a Jug.
Yeah. If it doesn't get banned. I mean, Voidboys, that should be their ban here.
Yeah, I would think so. And if it's not going to be the Jug, I mean, options after that, maybe like a PA, but someone else who can really take advantage of a big slam down RP and then just have all that huge burst. You could just clean house from there after. And Anti-Mage could have been it too, but I'm feeling like it could be the Jug here. So we'll have to see if it's something they do go for. It was a quick ban there on the Anti-Mage, so I'm not sure how Voidboys are really kind of have their heads at right here, but we'll have to see. And then as far as looking over on the Voidboys side of things, Chen offers a lot of potential if they want to go Hefty Siege. You got 2 playstyles with them. You either get more greedy in the jungle, go right for the mech, and then just kind of start taking down tier 1 across the map, go for an early Roche. So they might need someone to kind of help out with the Roche as well.
5 seconds remaining.
But we'll have to see because that person could potentially have the task to go against whoever this number 5 slot will be for NAR.
I just don't see them not picking Jug here. Jug he's so good in this lineup. You have Axe to jump in and call. You have Magnus with the RP. Jug Omni slashes. He farms so quickly with Mask of Madness and Empower on.
10 seconds
Any other melee carry, fine, sure, whatever. But like Jug is probably the premium right here. He's probably the best of the best at this point because there's no troll. Obviously, Slark's okay. They go for the Spectre instead, which is I think it's interesting because they could have gone for a dual lane aggressive lane with Zeus and Axe, which I talked about earlier. Instead, they're more than likely... They can actually get away with this, though, because they're not going to get aggro dual lane against. The Spectre isn't going to have a rough time in lane. She will get farm, and that leads me to believe that this is a very solid pickup for NAR. Yeah, I would like to see the Jug a bit more, but I think Spectre works just as well, and she could like snowball so crazily hard and does so much damage in the early, even mid to late game stages. Remaining. So I like the choice. I don't know what you think about it. I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, it obviously adds a bit of that global flair along with Zeus, and then you have that instant just by the click of a couple R buttons, you'll know where everyone is going to be on the side of Voidboys, and then where you can find the opportunity to strike, or if you're going to be like that smoke detector, you'll know exactly what's going on when. Voidboys, they could get Jug themselves. I mean, they need someone to potentially help out with their dire side Roche advantage, and Jug's one of the few who could do it. but he also could have a hard time working around a Clockwork. If Clockwork's there to kind of lead in and set something
10
up, he's not really
seconds
one
remaining.
to kind of get in there. So that's where I feel like the range carry is going to be something. And, well, it's going to be Lady Luna. That's
the
something we
NIP.
see, yeah, the NIP style Luna. This hero kind of fell off for a while, and slowly she's found her way back into the groove. I mean, the potential's still there. Once she's able to get herself into the base, when she's slotted up, I mean, it's ridiculous how fast those glaives can do work. So the problem is early on, once her ultimate ends up going down, she could be a bit susceptible to getting caught out. But if she gets to build up into that late game point, it could be pretty crazy.
Luna got a groove back as she is now picked up a lot with the Chen, Vengeful Spirit, as well as another common combo. She's very good in the mid to late game. Against Spectre, it's actually kind of a tough matchup for her. With Eclipse, maybe she could do work. Spectre not one to build a BKB at any point in time. Eclipse can kind of wreck Spectre early on if she tries to go for a bit of a greedy haunt. Nonetheless, if you had to put money on who would win this game right now, just based on the draft, Dakota, what would you go for? Who would you pick up? Personally, I would go for, right now, NAR, but that's just because of basically I like their lanes a lot more, and the fact they got an Axe third pick is pretty huge, but anything's possible.
Yeah, I mean, the Na'Vi lineup looks very fluid. They have a tremendous amount of initiation opportunities given to them. I mean, imagine when Lion's able to throw together a Blink Dagger, which if it's going to be a Fogged Lion, which actually it is not at the moment, but regardless, if he's able to get the Blink Dagger, they have so many opportunities to make plays happen. They have the global opportunities already given on the other two between Spectre and Zeus. It's just a matter of getting to that point where they have the items to back up this huge team fight potentials. But the thing is just looking at Voidboys lineup, I don't think they're going to be getting a lot done early on either. So it could be a relatively quiet start of a game. Both sides kind of need a bit going for them before they can really kind of get the fireworks flying.
I think it's the Chen. I think it really relies on how the Chen does. If the Chen has a good start, it flies a good start, he gets like 2 or 3 smoke rotations, maybe takes down a tower. All of a sudden, this game becomes very easy for Voidboys, because then you rotate, you take away the tower bottom and mid, you take away the jungle from the Spectre, and you take away the lane from the Spectre, you kill her a couple of times, suddenly you're in a good position. So Voidboys still have a good way to get back into this through the Chen, through also ganks from the Queen of Pain, her having a good time mid, which is actually a pretty good matchup against what I imagine will be the Korok Magnus. I thought it was going to be MSS playing it for a moment because his Magnus is also quite good, but he's going to be the off-lane Axe. For whatever reason, they decide not to use most of their real names. Chad is Bleak, for those of you wondering, and of course, Perfect Time is going to be a Reef or MSS, Mojo Stormstat, whatever the hell you want to call them. For Voidboys, their names are all the way they should be at this point. So, I mean, we're getting underway, man. The first game of the night out of 3 games. NEL will be playing, or NAR will be playing Voidboys, then top 5, and then NEL Goons to round up the night. Pretty important start here. You really only have 2 days of Dota 2 Canada Cup action to find out if you're in the playoffs or not, at least in your group. So we'll see who comes out on top. This is going to be an interesting game. We'll see who.
It certainly would help if they could start everything off with a win. And you hear it from the players themselves. You don't want to be leading off your day or leading off your series or whatever it may be with a loss. That could hit you hard, especially if it could turn into one of those crazy kind of 60, 70-minute, heaven forbid, 80-minute kind of a games where you just become so mentally fatigued, and then if the game doesn't work in your favor, chalk it up to whatever you want to make it, 6.83 or whatever. You want to make sure you got your head in the game for the games to come. So it just would make things a lot easier for either of these teams if they could lead things off with a big win here. More pressure towards, the North American Rejects, considering they have this big triple header before them. So Here we go. It's sound of the horn. Runes have been kind of divvied between both sides, and away we go. Mott, please, if you would do the honors. I don't want to step on your toes here, but introductions I would love to hear.
All right, for Voidboys on the Dire side, we got Omega Poner. He'll be doing the Clockwork. He's got the creeps. He didn't actually really deposit them, but he's body blocking. They can't get out. Please, let me go. Meanwhile, middle lane, it's going to be 747 with the tag Just a Boy, because we need more of that in Dota on the Queen of Pain. It's going to be Fly in the jungle on the Chen. Top lane it is going to be Schwan on the Vengeful Spirit. And Mercy Please playing the Luna. That'll round out your Dire Voidboys lineup.
On the other side, we got the Na'Vi squad, the North American Rejects version 2. In the off-lane position right now, we got Perfect Time. I believe this is Mr. Mojo Stormstout, MSS, correct, if I'm not mistaken. Along the mid lane, we got none other than the Swole God himself, Korok. He's going to be playing your Swollen Magnus. Along the bottom in the jungle, we got the Green Dream Fog. He's going to be playing your Zeus. And in the lane itself, we got Dota. He's going to be playing your Spectre, and that leaves Mr. Chad, also known as Bleak. He's playing your Lion.
Yeah. This is, Bleak's been away from Dota for a period of time. He's been known to do such things as harass Gerg when it comes to playing Counter-Strike Go. And just generally be a nuisance. He's quite the player. He's played a little bit of NAL here and there. He's not completely rusty. The rest of these players have been in and out on their own separate teams for NAR. So they're playing up against a more refined squad of Voidboys, a team that's played together. But with that being said, Earthspike's going to go. Fog will get pushed. He's got Lightning Bolt, but they just don't have the damage. Fog would only be able to use Lightning Bolt and not Arc Lightning as well. He got pushed at the last second. Had he not, he might have had enough mana to get that kill. Regardless, well played from the Clockwork Man. The Cogs come out and block him. But here comes Fog, gonna get pushed again. Now he's out of mana, Battery Assault, and gets the bounty run as well. Fog's gonna get jumped on, has another clarity, but completely out of mana, and not even enough for an Arc Lightning. So again, very good Cogs coming up from Omega Poner. He will waste some time, he has to go all the way around. Fog does a nice job zoning him out. This is gonna be an Ush, he's gonna get free farm, but still kind of annoying.
Yeah, I mean, Omega Poner, not too bad, considering it's a 3-on-1 kind of a lane. He still can kind of do as he pleases. He's had pretty solid cog placements right now, and he gets the rune. I mean, I'm sure he's off to a beautiful start. The Creepolibrium is in a fantastic spot for him to be close enough where he can indulge himself in the sweet XP and not have to worry too much about being too far from his own tower. And now he's going to take that aggro even closer to the tower, so he's in good standing. You look at the other side of the world, they did try to roam in on here, MSS, but he's had a nice ward nearby to scout it out. Finally, they kind of recognize that, and they will de-ward it. So the safety net of that ward here for MSS is going to be gone now, and he'll have to kind of be on his toes to see if, well, if Mr. Fly is going to be rotating any further on this gen.
No Battle Hunger, interestingly enough. We see like the almost level 2 Battle Hunger come out all the time, and that's just not the case right now for MSS. He's going for the 1 point in the call, 2 in the counter helix. That's kind of interesting. Maybe just wants some extra armor if he gets caught out. He has 6 last hits. He could go back to the jungle. It's not currently being stacked. It's not currently being taken by anybody. Fog's going to get a pull through, so that's the thing. You have this offlaner that can benefit by just heading to the jungle, staying there for, 10 minutes, coming out with a blink dagger. Meanwhile, Clockwork is just like, I want levels, man. If I can get boots, maybe a bottle and levels, then I'm happy. He's not too far off MSS. MSS about level 4, Omega Poner a little ways away from that. Ush looking to put some Spectral Dagger pressure. There's going to be a Earth Spike as well. This could be your first blood. Lightning Bolt could fly. No, it's the Arc Lightning. And the right click coming out from the Spectre. That will secure it. First blood. Omega Poner. That's just a hard lane, man. I don't know what you do in that situation. You can't really do anything there.
Yeah, just a little too far and away from the safety of home, and then he gets punished. Meanwhile, Topper having a bit of a fisticuffs here, a fight over the rune. It's going to be snagged up from 747. He's been disrespecting Korok in this mid lane. He's 24-13, Korok's 12-0. I mean, it's not really a surprise to see Magnus kind of get beat on here from your Queen of Pain, but 747 is definitely making Korok sweat this one out, and now he has to take that long walk of shame back to base to kind of heal on up. Looks like Fog is going to get a little bit of solo me time, though, to kind of get some levels underway. That's what you need on your Zeus. You need to get that burst online. If he's kind of having a bit of a snail start, then he could fall off pretty quickly, and you don't want to be in recovery mode too fast. So he's got to get the levels together. That's when the burst comes through. Get that level 6, most importantly, and then you can really control the game.
She's going to take some Battery Assault. I mean, you're right. You could say the same about both Korok and Fog right now. They're both in a situation where I mean, Fog's getting okay levels for being a support and down and bottom with a tri-lane. He got a couple of pulls going through, but Korok is just, he's getting crushed, which again is not a huge surprise. This is a very good matchup at 747's an amazing mid player. The problem is that 747 will translate or transition this into getting kills top lane or perhaps bottom lane, making sure Ush has a rough time. Like, Ush needs to get all he can out of this lane before the rotations come through from whether it's Fly or the Queen of Pain played by 747. He has to get as much done as possible. He's down 1 CS to the Luna. It's 30-29. They're doing an okay job denying the Clockwork, who's at 5 last hits. Where's the Axe? MSS still top lane, level 5 for him. What about the Clockwork? He's level 4, so MSS getting a bit more out of the off lane than perhaps of course, Omega Poner is, but again, they do have the Chen, Battery Assault, Cogs. Ush gonna get pushed back all the way behind the tower. Ush maybe in trouble. Earth Spike. Tower doing some damage. He might go down here. He will. No, he had 10 HP. He had 10 HP from the tower hit. I thought that was gonna be the kill, but it turns out that Omega Poner with which that was a sick play. Does not get that kill though.
Nope, he's going to have to take the long walk back. He's going to try to tango up. Not enough mana for a rocket, and by now it will be a little too late. Mr. Fly had been smoked up for quite a while here. The Chen kind of scouting out maybe opportunities to make a jump onto the off lane, but MSS has definitely changed course. He's going to be in the jungle now, and nothing was happening in the mid lane either. So he's kind of waiting a bit. Now he's going to get pinged out. They actually see what's happening, apparently. And Fly's just going to have to just wait. Wait this. Now they'll move in. Fog, though, is in a pretty nice spot.
Boy.
He starts his walk back, but there's going to be the net. Here comes Mercy, please. And with a loosened beam, they're going to get the kill. It's actually Chen, though, who's going to get the last strike, and they're going to turn this into some pressure on a tier 1.
This is the timing that you expect to see. I mean,
Radiant's top tower
sooner
is
rather than
under
later,
attack.
Chen's going to smoke up whether he goes mid or he goes top. He will go somewhere, and he does. And they knew it. Like you said, they pinged there, but Fog just wasn't far enough back. He got loosened beam. That's what started it off, and then a good play coming out with, of course, the Hellbear Smasher, the Ensnare coming through, and then the Test of Faith to clean it all up, which will turn into a tier 1 tower, more than likely. No glyph, no hero coming to defend, so fast start for Void Boys. And
Radiant's
the
top
biggest
tower
issue
has
for
fallen.
NAR right now is they need a while. They need Arcanes probably on Korok, then they get the Blink Dagger. You know, Zeus needs his level 6. Axe needs his Blink Dagger, which he's going to take some time to get to after he gets his Tranquils now. We'll probably go for the Blink next. And, of course, Ush could use a Radiance and what have you as the Urn. Nice ward here from the Vengeful Spirit. This gives some decent vision. RP going in. Skewer could be coming back. It will finally call into it as well. Helix procs, they don't need it. They get the Calling Blade. What a swift play. That was actually
Dire's
pretty
middle
cool.
tower is
That
under
was like the
attack.
Bash Brothers right
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Korok leading in, setting it up, right to the call there of MSS. Beautifully done. They get the Dunkaroonie, and well, Queen of Pain will go down. Doesn't really feel like it's only been 2-1, but things are slowly beginning to simmer here. Definitely more farm time necessary on the side of Na'Vi to kind of wait it out. Ush has been kind of the queen of farming it up here in the bottom lane. Still not top on CS, 41-9. Creeping up there next to your Luna, even though she's been involved with that kill. And it looks like for now just going with your usual standard get-up of the Urn and the phase. We'll see how long before he decides to really invest on putting together a timed-out Radiance. That's when things really get exciting for your Spectre.
I mean, it's going to take a while because he did go for that Urn first, but he's not doing bad by farm by any means. He's doing pretty well. The Radiance will take some time. As long as he doesn't get ganked, he's okay. Bottom lane, that's what they were looking for. They have the level 6 Omega Poner. Not the easiest to gank a Spectre because of Spectral Dagger, but meanwhile, they see 747, but they don't have any way to initiate. They don't have the blink yet, although it's getting close. There's no
Radiant's
real way to
bottom
get in
tower
there.
is under attack.
They'll ping him out.
Oh, if they hex before the blink, nope.
It's too far. Too much, man. They need a blink on one of those heroes. There's no way the line has a blink at 9 minutes into the game. It's just not happening. And MSS is not quite there yet.
Never know. You hit that click move button, you look away 1 second, next thing you know you're going to get caught out sheeped, and it's going to be hard to get away. That would have allowed MSS to move on in, get a call follow-up, and with the burst of fog, that Queen of Pain could have been dead Zor, but not happening now. Mid lane, though, it looks like a little bit of time for Vengeful Spirit, who does have level 6, so they have the swap, but a Skewer could easily allow Korok to kind of get away, and they have to anticipate that RP's got to be up about now, which it is now. And I have a feeling here that they want to put it to use. Maybe do a little bit the same of what they did before. Because now they have a nearby Bleak Lion and MSS is back once more. But as I say that, there's already a smoke movement coming out here from the Void Boys towards the Na'Vi side.
If they catch MSS, that could be huge. He's so close to that blink dagger, and he could lose a bit of gold. Death cost would be 240. It's not that bad, but maybe Lion will be the sacrificial lamb. Blake's going to walk in. Zeus ult comes. It's a bit too late. They still have hook shot. Korok needs to get out immediately. He's got Skewer. He's going to get hooked on. They're going to push him back. No, he gets out. Skewer out. Omega Poner. Call's going to go through. They get the Hand of God. They need to get the Slam Jam. They will. They dunk him in. Now the Haunt coming in. Still bringing Ush. They're looking for more. Battle Hunger. Fly in trouble. No heals. Swap out. Maybe Schwam will get killed, but Fly might survive. Urn charges up. He looks like he will fall. Mercy, please try to turn on this, but he's alone. Na'Vi. They get jumped on, but they make it work for him. 3 for 2 trade. Mercy Please says, hold on. Let's reset. 747's looking for Ush. This could be a big kill. Spectral Dagger not there. He is a lot of mana away.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Unfortunate, awkward time to pause, but they know what's going on. This is precious seconds to quickly get it back underway, and it looks like we are going to go. We'll see here. 747, no.
Oh, he doesn't go
Opposite
in.
pull back, doesn't really like this. Instead, oh, no!
He
Oh! That's not what you want to be happening, and now she pays the price. Oh my goodness, what the hell happened?
It's a disaster. He overthink it, man. He should have just maybe gone on the Spectre, but there it is. That's it, man. That is the feeling in a nutshell. Oh my god.
I mean, you only had to pause to think about your right move there, I guess.
You only had a couple of moments to just think about what to maybe do in that situation. You win some, you lose some, and in that case, they lost big. The Mask of Madness build, the Fear build coming up for the Spectre, although the Fear build usually goes 1-1-1, then gets 2 points in stats, then finishes up Desolate and Spectral Dagger. That is not the case. He's going full mom mode with no points in stats. It's a bit dangerous, but boy, does it do a lot of damage, and it helps you farm so well.
Yeah, I haven't really personally witnessed a whole lot of the Mask of Madness Spectre. I mean, I almost think of it the same way as maybe a Luna might pick up a Mask of Madness every once in a while just to really bump up that farm and take advantage of that serious right-click and get as much of that DPS out there as possible. I mean, I played with a guy in a pub that did it, and it seemed to work out for him, but that's just a pub after all.
Was that guy me? Did I play with you with that game?
Was that with you?
I think it might have been.
Someone. Yeah, I think it was. I think it was you. How'd you feel about it? Why are you asking me?
I loved it, man. It was great. I was just like... Trout was like, oh, you know, getting stats, I like when you get Desolate more. I'm like, I don't know, I'm having pretty good success with this. And Desolate is very good, I will say that much. But, like, people underestimate the damage you do when you have, like, Haunt, a little bit of Desolate, and Mask of Madness popped. But also, you need to be very careful. It's like any hero with the Mask of Madness, you will die if caught in a bad light. Meanwhile, Voidboys are going to get absolutely scouted. Na'Vi have 100% knowledge as to where they were about 10 seconds ago. They see where they are now. Call goes onto the Luna. The Haunted swap out. Fingers up. The Clips goes through. Mercy, please. Not hitting anybody. Oh, shit. On the backside alone. Spectrals to the low ground. Croc coming back in. They're looking for a call. They're going to get it. Omega Poner going to get caught. RP comes in as well. They do take down the Axe. Can they get 747? They will. There's only one left, and it's Flying Fog is going to deep. He gets the double. 5-man wipe. NAR V2 come out with a team wipe. All 5 lay dead on the dirt. Huge fight, and that gives not only Korok his Blink Dagger, but he's got to be feeling swole right now, my friend.
That was just beautifully done. I mean, Fog helped them get that bit of vision to know when it was the right time to make a move, and regardless, even Voidboys are like, okay, well, we're all here, we're under a tower, we should be pretty good. But, you know, Axe just kind of jumps in there. He doesn't even get a big call, but immediately Voidboys go into the defensive. They get a nice swap out, but then Luna pops out her Eclipse, and there's really no focal point for anyone. It's like an illusion, and that's it. And it just goes to shit real quick, unfortunately for them. They're in a hot disaster, and it's just Na'Vi kind of, you know, juking and jiving, in and out, and then, you know, Korok's just sitting on his RP, and eventually it will come. And they're just now building up so much momentum here. It's going to be a real steep climb here for Voidboys to try to find their way back into this.
I think they need to not panic, though, at this point. I know they have kind of a snowbally-ish lineup, but they still have a Luna who could get into the late game. They have Roche potential by being on the dire side. The big thing is that, you know, Ush, as farmed as he might be, he's not, you know, Radiance yet. He's not Manta style yet. He's not Heart of Trask yet, or Scotty, whatever he goes for. And this is the right play from Voidboys, but they get scouted, and now they need to back. Fog's Zeus ults have been on point. This guy's in their heads right now. Will they continue to stay in the pit? Blink Dagger's up for Korok, but Roche is still down, or rather, RP is still down for 10 seconds. They're smoked up. The Blink call could start it off, and then followed up by an RP. Tornado's going to come through. They're going to get the Haunt. The Blink's going to get canceled because of the Tornado. Omega Poner takes a hefty amount of damage. They have to use the Hand of God. Blink call onto 2. Sonic Wave comes out, does little damage in comparison to what they just accomplished. And now you've got to head out. Skewer RP from Korok. Lightning Bolt. Shockwave. Calling Blade. We'll see you later. It's going to be maybe another 5-man. No, 4-man wipe. They won't go any further. 747 says, I'm getting the fuck out of here, boys. We have lost this fight. And we've lost a lot more than that, perhaps. Dakota,
so many different ways to initiate and get what they want here. That was way too risky for Voidboys to kind of hang around. You should have saw the Thunder God's Wrath and went like, you know what, we'll do this some other time. And they just get the hell out of there. But maybe they're like, if we step out, maybe they think we left, but And then again, you could be walking yourself into a trap. Jump in, though, from Omega Poner. A bit of a ballsy move. It's a little too early, my friend. And, well, he will go down. Just an extra bit of a freebie there for the North American Rejects. Now comes in your 747, trying to get a cleanup here onto Ush. Lands his Shadow Strike. Will slow him down quite a bit. Yeah, he can't TP away. He's going to commit another blink forward for this one.
No. Oh,
I see ya. There's a Scream. There's the Aegis. It is going to go down. Mercy places here. He has Eclipse. He's going to use it. He will. Yep. There goes the Eclipse. They could get Ush. They will. Okay, a nice double takedown right there on your Spectre. It's a small step. It's a small step.
That gives them 600 gold. That's not the most, but Queen of Pain at least gets part of an item there. Like, she finishes up her Necro Book, which I guess is what she's going for. So there's a little consolation prize, and by little I mean like it might be the tiniest consolation prize you'll ever get. Although the tier 1 tower is not bad either. So I like the play from the Clockwork. You kind of have to make those plays when you're this far down. It does actually end up leading into the kill on Ush plus the Aegis.
Yeah.
But you're still in a very bad spot, man. Like a really, really bad spot.
I mean, if the purpose was just holding them there that little bit longer, get those few extra hits in, bump them with the cogs, reduce the mana a bit so that a cleanup like that can happen, you know, I guess it's somewhat justified. You are kind of benefiting a lot from that the infamous rubber band a bit, because there is a tremendous head start here for the North American Rejects. That makes more opportunities for Voidboys to kind of get a bit of a rebound in this game. So getting the prize target like your Spectre there, eliminating the Aegis from the game, puts them in a more comfortable position to not just kind of wait out and risk losing all the rest of their towers here. But here we go, commit on in. They're going to be able to easily clean out Fly. The Haunt goes on through. Can they get Poner? Ooh. They can't. He's going to be able to TP back and away. But a nice solid pick onto the Chen, who is going to be in a real hard spot here. As long as NAR is going to be able to control the woods, he has nowhere to really kind of build up this army. And they're going to dance around with the Centaurs a bit, but they will be able to find their way out.
Swing and a miss from the Centaurs. And power on Ush seems very dangerous with the Mask of Madness. All they really need is Radiance at this point. It's gonna. I mean, it's not like it feels. It feels like you should have this Radiance already with how big of a lead they have. But it is only 18 minutes into the game. We went for a Mask of Madness and an Earned first, so that's something to keep in mind with Ush. For Mercy, please. We haven't talked about him a whole lot. No Helm of the Dominator, just a Morbid Mask. He has a Yasha, maybe has a full Manta coming out. No, so his net worth is not that bad, but in comparison to the rest of Na'Vi, it is kind of. Korok has the most net worth with a Blink, a Force, Bottle, Arcanes, and 8.5k net worth and 1.2k in the bank ready to go. So Korok is in a really good spot. Axe isn't too far off with Blade Mail to Blink Dagger, and that's the biggest thing, man, is how do you get through those two beefcakes on the side of NAR? Like, how do you kill them? How do you bring them down? It seems so difficult at this point.
You can't. I mean, you gotta just go into recovery mode. Nice bit of farm here for Luna to be able to clean up those Ancients. I mean, she was pretty low. Up to that point, she was, you know, 4th in net worth, and this is the Luna you're gonna be putting everything in with. But mid lane, ooh, a little bit of a flirting here, but 747 is gonna be blinking back and away. But yeah, she's got to get going here. She's got to start building it up. She has yet to even break 1k HP. She's very susceptible. Once she's caught out with an Axe, with an RP, it's very, very slim chances that she's going to be making it out with her life. So you got to really try to build up and itemize further, because you can't take a fight at this point. If you could find a pick, that's wonderful, but it's going to be hard against the lineup that has a Zeus that can constantly be checking out any smoke movements you have, pretty much any positioning you got. And, well, they do have one nice little aggressive ward here for the North America Rejects, right in the mid lane as well. So they get little bits of intel here and here. But we'll see as they kind of continue to itemize. This is where the blinks are all in. The mobility tools are all good. And jump in RP will connect. 747 brought back right to the Hex and the Finger. And Fog is going to KS it right there with a big bolt.
Yeah, threw a lot there. I don't know if they needed that much, but a kill's a kill. And they'll probably get the tier 1 tower. And Axe gets a kill on Fly. Pops the Blade Mail. I don't know if he got the creeps with him. He might have. But nice kill, nice 2 kills in fact coming out. This leads to the tier 1 tower finally being it's actually the first tier 1 for Na'Vi to take down this entire game. That is one problem with their lineup. They do not have a good pushing squad. They can't really take down towers effectively. And that's they got 2 team wipes, man, and they only got 1 tier 1 tower and a row shot off the back end of it. So I don't know what else you have to do in order to take down towers, but apparently that's it. They'll head top together.
Yeah, this is feeling a bit 5-man-ish right now for North American Rejects, but you know, Voidboys put together a squad that was pretty good at being able to take objectives, you know, get these tier 1s down quickly, remove those access points, and then go for a Roche. You know, you got a Vengeful Spirit. Luna can help out, and they can get the job done, but it's clearly an opportunity that's been falling away from them, and they just got to kind of get themselves back into the game at this point, and maybe starting with this mid lane tier 1, which is still pretty full and healthy. You have most of the Radiant side working with the top, but they are going to bring in both Fogged and Bleak. No Finger, so
Blink Dagger, he does. He does have Blink on Bleak, by the way.
I mean, they have potential bursts to get a support easy, but already Voidboys are like, we only see 2 top lane. We don't want to hang around here any longer. Let's make this rotation happen. We go all the way to bottom now.
This is interesting. I'll try to push in bottom lane. A couple of TPs were already used, so they know that in order to defend bottom, they'll have to rotate. They have a big wave. They saw the big wave coming in. There is a glyph for the Radiant squad. A couple of Centaurs. The triple Centaur train here, as it were. Earth Spike, Arc Lightning. One's going to die. The other is just going to be a nuisance at this point. That creep wave gets blown up, by the way. Oh, man.
They need to be able to see where someone like Korok is, where this axe is, so they can't just blink onto him. They're being very cautious with their positioning here, but can they make it out safely? They're creating a lot of space between themselves, but they're still on the hunt here. Oh, there it is. RP connects on 747 into the call. We've seen this once before, and it ended a very similar way. And a desperate TP out from opponent is going to be successful. And all the meanwhile, that haunt.
He solo killed the Luna.
Unbelievable. Just Mask of Madness pop and just rips her a new one with the help of that Sacred Relic. That means the Radiance is now going to be complete. You have a 4-staff done on Axe. I mean, they just have so much ready to go. This is their peak. This is their prime. And then they have a Spectre on top of it to fall back on. It's really hard to look for the light at the end of the tunnel here for Voidboys.
They're down 10,000 net worth. This is a Luna that now, or not a Luna, rather, a Spectre that has a Radiance. They're hitting all of their abilities. They've hit the skewer into call since the beginning of the game. This doesn't feel like a new squad that looks a bit iffy. This looks like a squad that know exactly what they want. They've made very few mistakes this game. It's only the first game they've played, and I don't want to give them too much credit for how they've played, but damn have they played good. Well, I should say. Voidboys, on the other hand, they had a good idea that the laning phase from 747 was outstanding, but they didn't transition it into anything. The Luna couldn't find farm. The 5-man came in. Still very early on. The comeback potential is there. It is 6.83 after all, and they have a Luna. But with how far they are behind now, this is going to take one monumental either collapse or some huge team fights. And if you look at team fight potential, NAR have it in spades. Everything they have on their lineup is all team fight centric, even the Haunt, for God's sakes. And that's the Chen just got a mech at 23 minutes, man. Like, how do you come back into the game when you have a 23-minute mech on a Chen? That doesn't seem like it's going to bode well.
It's not a Chen game. This doesn't feel like a good time to be a Chen. You're trying to make things work. You're very scared to even get in your own jungle. You say you build up an army and you try to make a siege happen. Well, you're going to be doing it to an Axe who's going to be happy to spin to win all over your little army. They have Zeus there kind of rip it all apart. Now you get a Radiance on your Spectre. They have lots of opportunities to farm it on up, but I mean, this doesn't feel like quite the desperate smoke, but they need to make something happen here. There's a hook shot onto MSS. They could get Axe. He's able to bump himself out. Scream is an air ball, not connecting. Now they're going to make their return move in. Here they come. Korok with a beautiful RP and a double setup. And just like that, the Voidboys are dead and we are done.
That's it. That is it, man. When you get hit by that kind of RP, it's time to call it. Oh, my God. What a game. NAR, that was spectacular play.
I felt that RP.
Yeah, you felt it from New York.
I lost my wit. Yeah, dude, I got the wind knocked out of me. It was ridiculous.
Oh my lord, what an RP to finish the game off. 11-0-10. Korok and MSS, probably the two best performers, but it was more of a cohesive unit. It was a more of a 5-man type of play style that came through from NARV, and they demolished Voidboys in this first game. And if this is a sign of things to come, boy, are North American Rejects happy about what's coming up next. They do have to play up against top 5. We'll see how that game goes. Voidboys, they go down. It's only 0-1 for them, so they have plenty of time to work with. But Dakota, man, I don't know what else we could say about that game other than it was an absolute pound town. Not in terms of laning, not in terms of, you know, maybe mistakes happening, but in terms of sheer outplay and team fight potential, North American Rejects took it to Voidboys.
Yeah, that's the game they needed if they wanted to lead off a successful triple header. So they get what they want. Void Boys, they got to really try to shake this one off. I mean, this is a group that, as I said at the very start, they have a very hot and cold kind of a history. And, well, for today, they start off a bit cold. So we'll see what they look for when they come back. It just seemed like the lineup they've thrown together just absolutely was not going to be working here against the brash ballsiness that NAR have. So we'll see what we come out from them. And, well, NARV, if we get more exciting matches like this, then I'm looking forward to Game 2.
Me too, man. That was something to behold, and hopefully we get to see some type of performance from either team in the next game, which, of course, like I said, is going to be NAR versus Top 5 here on the Dota 2 Canada Cup, home of North American Dota, at least for these next couple of weeks as we move into May. Thank you so much for joining us, guys. Make sure you follow us. Make sure you follow Dota 2 Canada Cup. Make sure you check them out this tournament. The best and brightest of the young future that North America and South America Dota has. Make sure you check out Dota2.ca, twitter.com/Dota2Canada, Dota2Canada. You can follow us, myself being Mott, and of course Guy at MottDota and at Guy. We will jump into a quick break. We will come back with our next game, NAR versus Top 5, in just a moment. Stick around, everybody. We'll see you soon.